All right, here we are back with this language, and I want to work on phonology, and I think I've got an idea of how to proceed with an idea. So here's what I've got. We're going to have a simple 5-vowel system, and I don't really foresee that vowel system shifting into a bunch of different vowels. I think it'll stay a 5-vowel system. We might see some vowel shifting. We might see different things like that. But I think we're going to start with a 5-vowel system and end with a 5-vowel system, all things considered. What I'm going to do is set up the phonotactics of the Protolang and then start getting rules to make this. And that's what's going to happen. So we're going to go proto-phono-tactics. And basically what I want to make is I want a language where you can have a syllable that's just a vowel. That's totally fine. You can also have consonant vowel. And what I really need to do is think about what are the codas going to be? What am I going to allow as a coda? So it might actually be helpful if I think in terms of onset nucleus coda. Onset is going to be any of these consonants. So I think I'm going to get rid of the but we'll get there. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. But onset is going to be any of these possible. The nucleus, only vowels. I've done a language before with different nuclei, but I think for this one we'll stick with just any vowel. And then coda. Coda becomes important. I want nasals as possible codas. I want fricatives. Do I want all fricatives as possible codas? I think so. I think I want fricatives maybe that aren't H. I guess it won't matter because all of my fricatives are going to become H if they're in front of a stop, or they're going to become aspiration on the next thing. So maybe actually, okay, well, I'll think about that. So I want fricatives to be codas, and that will maybe lead to some interesting things. And then what else do I want? I'll let R can be a coda. Do I want approximants? Approximants kind of would be turning into like an ow would become ow and I and things like that. Yeah, I don't mind that. We'll have those. Nasals and fricatives, approximants, tap. I'm okay with that. I think that's where we're at. And then, so here's what we're gonna do. We need to deal with nasal codas. We need to deal with fricative codas, and we need to deal with approximant codas, and we need to deal with rhotic codas. That gives us a path forward. Perfect. Okay, nasal codas. What's going to happen to nasal codas is, I think, just in all situations, nasals are going to go to and I realize this, it's alpha place, not place alpha. Things are silly. Nasals are going to move to the place of whatever they're in front of, effectively. I don't necessarily know exactly how to write that, but that's what I mean, is that so if you have something like tan pa, that's going to become tampa. I'll type that out so you can see. So tanpa would become tampa. What I should do is add examples. Tanpa becomes tampa. That kind of a thing. Do I want nasal codas to do anything else after that? Maybe. Do I? Let's see. Tamma. Do I want them to geminate? I think I'm okay with them geminating. That's fine. Maybe gemination will be the only codas allowed in the final language. Allowed gemination? Question mark. We'll highlight that so I remember to come back to that. Tampa, tanza, tandra, tarra. I think then what we might do is that. I like the idea of tanra would become tarra. I think that works out well. And then tanha. Obviously, you can't have a glottal nasal, but what's it going to do in front of H's and glottal stops? This is going to be in the wrong order if I don't do that. Perfect. Tanha, tanho, tan-a. I think, oh, careful, don't hit the microphone too much. They don't like it when you hit the microphone too much. In front of the glottal stop, I think, actually what I think is going to happen is any nasal followed by a glottal stop is just going to become, this is actually how you write it. We'll do it this way. So, a glottal stop becomes null when it is after a nasal. And what do we do with the H? Tanha. Well, that's going to be aspiration. Okay, so that's aspiration. That's totally fine. Beautiful. And I think that takes care of nasal codas. So that's good. Fricative codas. Might be hard to deal with. Let's do approximant codas. Approximant codas. Albo, auto, algo, alho, auto, also, alpho, alho. I don't see anything real problem with any of that. Ipo, iso, aiko, iho, ino, io. I think the only thing I can think of is, again, this kind of a thing where a glottal stop is going to go away in front of an approximant. I'm going to use W for an approximant. I don't know if that's good or not, but it's what we're doing. So grill me in the comments below. I don't like, if it helps, I don't like the way it looks either, but it's also fine. Yeah, do we just call that good? Call it a day? Is that going to work for us? Auto, Ido. Yeah, I don't see a big problems happening with approximate codas. I think that's fine. Rhotic codas. Arpo, arto, arco, armo, arso, arzo, arzo, arho, arro, arro. Again, I think it's just going to be the same sort of thing where that glottal stop just cannot stick around. It's fine. It just... Okay, but do I want the glottal stop to turn into an 8? Do I want it to do aspiration harmony? No. Yes? No. Do I want the glottal stop as a consonant? If I'm just getting rid of it everywhere, I don't think, I think I'm actually convincing myself that the glottal stop doesn't need to stick around. if the only thing I'm ever going to do with it is delete it, then let's just not have it, you know? So that's fine. So approximate codas are fine. They're just allowed everywhere. No rules. Rhotic codas. There's no rules, guys. There's no rules. And then fricative codas. Fricative codas. What are we going to do here? Afbo, afto, afgo, asko, asto, aspo, achko, achto, achbo. Whoa. So, okay, what's going to happen to F? F. Afmo, afto, afgo. I think. Okay. What? So, asco, asto, aspo. Achko, achto, achbo. Achko, achto, achpo. Asto. Asdo. Okay. First, I think a fricative that is minus voice is going to go plus voice. Actually, we're going to do this. Oh, you're going to hate this. We're going to go, if a fricative, which has, watch this, I don't know if this is legal, everyone. If a fricative is beta voice, I don't know if that's the correct way to do this, is going to go to alpha voice when it shows up in front of a consonant that is alpha voice. Is it beta voice? Should I do minus alpha voice? I don't know what to do there. What I want is for voiced fricatives to devoice, and for devoiced and for unvoiced fricatives to voice in front of the respective consonants. So afwo become avwo, which eventually is going to actually become avo. I don't know how to write that, but that's how I'm writing it. So we can all just deal, I guess. So fricatives have voice now. So, or voiced and devoiced, that's fine. I think S is going to be weird. I think the others are going to be fine. S is a really strong fricative. And so I think S is going to stick around in places that like our velar. Is our velar fricative going to stick around and be a velar fricative? Probably not. So I think F and H. So let's see. That would be fricatives minus dental are going to do what? Afto. Afbo. I like the sound of afto. 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 Gosh. So here's what I'm dealing with. Eventually, I want some of these fricatives to become aspiration. And I want some of them not to. And I don't yet know how to do it. So I'm thinking that is this going to turn into aspiration harmony, or is this just going to end up giving me some weird nouns? And that's fine. I guess I'm okay with either way. I'm interested in eventually doing aspiration harmony. I just don't know if maybe it's not this language. Maybe this language just does aspiration-y stuff. But I want F to do weird things. I want S to do weird things. And I want H. I guess K can be the name of our letter. And then H to do weird things. Obviously that's the 4 that I'm dealing with. What is F going to do in front of labials? Afpo, 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 afpo. I think it's going to become aspiration there. Afto, 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 afto. I think it becomes, maybe does it just become aspiration everywhere? This one, I think, goes to H. Afpo, afto. I think this one just goes to H, which goes to aspiration when it's in front of a consonant. That I absolutely feel strong about that. Aspo, asto, asco. This is the one that could stick around. Does F want to stick around? I kind of like it staying in front of a dental. I feel like I like the sound like an afta. Here's the words. Let's do, so we've got afpa, avba, afta, avda, afka, and avga, in a sense, as it in front of stops. And I like this one, afta, avda, avda. I like afta, but not avda as much. Afka? It just sounds like Franz Kafka, and I don't know if I like that one. But we could have something like Torufku. Torufku could be a thing. Torufku, Toruftu, Torufku, Torufpa. It's a nice word. Is it right for this language? It could be right for the proto-language. Torufku, 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 Torufku. I think F is going to be weird. And that's okay. So let's do F and V are going to be different. So V is going to go to H. I think I'm just going to write H instead of writing voiced H, because voiced H is just going to go to aspiration. I think this is what's going to happen. But F is going to afpa, afka, afta. I think F is going to do the same thing, except, and that's what I'm going to use these two little bars for, except in front of T. Afa would become afa, become awa, awa. Afa. Yeah, that would be anything. What's going to become aspiration? Afma, aspiration. Afsa, afsa. Oh, fricative in front of a fricative. And that's one thing I'll have to do. Fricative in front of a fricative. What happens there? Gemination is a thing. Afsa, afsa, asfa. So I think any fricative just becomes S in front of S. Afha. Asfa. How to write this? Yeah. Let's see. Here's what I want. What I want is, okay. Fricatives become S in front of S or after S. And then afa, and afa. All right, and then h becomes f when it is in front of an F or after an F. And then is just going to lead to aspiration. So, yeah. And then I'll highlight this. That's not highlighting it. That's not easy to see. I'll do this. What happens to S? Highlight that so I remember to do that next time. And allow gemination? Probably yes. And I'll leave. So that's 2 things to do next time. And then Codas. That's Codas. Codas are done. No. Yes? Yes. Nasal codas. Fricative codas. Because we're not allowing stop codas. So let's do stop codas. Not allowed. All right. Stops nasals. Oh, and affricates. Stop affricate codas. Just not allowed. Excellent. Okay, cool. Then that's where I'm going to cut this off. Excellent. This was the episode where we talk about how to resolve our proto languages codas. Excellent. Icarus out.